Hello, my name is Kim, and in this timeless reading, we are going to look into the next 14 days to find out what it is that you can expect and or look forward to. Now, because this is a timeless reading, the next 14 days could be from whenever you happen to be watching this video, or it could be any next 14 days of your choosing. But with that being said, let us now take a closer look at the options for this video. There are 4 different groups to choose from. Group 1 is the instrument Marimba. Group 2 is the organ. Group 3 is the violin. Group 4 is the strings. Please take a moment to meditate on the options, and whichever instrument you are drawn to the most, then that will be the group and a reading meant for you. And if you do not feel drawn to any of these options, I do have another in the next 14 days timeless reading, which I will link down below if you are interested in more options. Or you can come back to this video at a later time if you do feel called to do so. Okay? But if you have selected a group, then please head on over to either the description box or the pinned comment in the comment section down below, where the timestamps that will allow for you to skip ahead to your selected group can be found. Okay, but if you are ready, then let us get started. Let's go. Hello, if you were drawn to group 1, Marimba, bienvenidos to your reading. So in the next 14 days, you will be raising the bar in some way. And I do get the feeling that some of you could be starting somewhere new in the next 14 days. So let's say you recently got hired somewhere and your first day at work will be sometime in the next 14 days. Or you might be entering into an industry or a field, an environment for the first time in the next 14 days. And because you are new, you might be coming in with fresh, more innovative ideas or ways of doing things that could end up raising the bar at this new job, place, or setting. It may also be that in the next 14 days, you might be raising your own standards. And I do sense that there will be some kind of introduction. So maybe it is you who is going to be introduced to others, or will be introduced to a new setting, or someone will be introduced to you, or you might be the one introducing someone to others. And if you are an employer and you are hiring or thinking about hiring in the next 14 days, or there is someone who you have already hired who will start working sometime in the next 14 days, this new employee could be the one who is raising the bar in some kind of way. This could even be in a student-teacher, mentor-mentee kind of situation, where someone new, someone fresh, or someone with fresh new ideas is coming in and raising the bar, raising the standards or the expectations of what is possible or what can be done, or how some things can be achieved or improved upon. Okay, but now I am going to move on to the rest of the cards. Where should I put this one? I'll put this one over here. It could even be that in the next 14 days, someone that you are introduced to will be showing you what is possible or what is out there, what can be done. And as a result, you yourself might be raising your standards. Or if it's not someone, it could be something that you are exposed to, might be the very thing that will result in you raising your standards in some way. It could even be an experience. But we have number 64 with drama and the key terms conflict and decisions with the message, drama is only a heightened state of believing. What you believe to be dramatic and tragic may all just be an illusion and a built-up storyline in your mind. Don't feed into it. We are the directors of our own movies. We have the power to make our own decisions. So this drama card or the message on this drama card made me think of being open to the possibilities or being exposed to new possibilities, new options, more options. I feel like the drama card is sort of indicating that either what you believe to be impossible is actually possible or plausible, or what you believe can only be possible is just a possibility. It's just an option. It's not actually all that there is or all that can be done. But we also have 59 with committed and the key terms union and agreement and the message, a commitment needs to be made or will be made. Trust it's the right choice and stick with it. So in the next 14 days, I do see you either needing to make a decision or making some kind of decision. And the word formal or formality just came to mind. So for a lot of you, this decision may have to do with something formal or professional, like a career, business, or financial decision. And because we do have two people here touching foreheads, for a lot of you, this could be related to a business partnership or a collaboration, a business association. But for some of you, it could also be related to personal relationships, interpersonal relationships. Yeah, but I feel like this decision will have something to do with another party, or it will involve somebody else. And this key dangling in the illustration of the committed card made me think of the key to a place, the key to an apartment. So something that is coming through that might not be for everyone is that in the next 14 days, you could be deciding upon whether or not you should think about living with a roommate or whether it's time to say goodbye to a roommate, look for a new roommate, or live on your own. For others of you, this could have something to do with moving on to the next level of commitment with a significant other. So in the next 14 days, you could be thinking about or deciding upon whether or not it's time to move in together with a significant other or find a place, a space, a home in which both of you can settle down or start the next chapter of your relationship together. But I do get the feeling that a lot of you could be contemplating on whether it's time to either move out or move into a bigger space or find a place of your own or get out of a partnership. Try collaborating with somebody else, somebody new, because I do get this feeling of two or more people going their separate ways or moving in different directions. Though seeing the drama card, it made me think of a scenario of someone needing to tell their parents that they are moving out of their childhood home or of their parents' house because they are moving in with the roommate, or they are thinking about moving in with a significant other. So that could be the case for some of you. But for others of you, in the next 14 days, you could definitely be transitioning from one job or from one work department to another. And so some of you could literally be turning in a key, like a key of like an office or of a building, or you could be turning in tools, equipment. I'm thinking of like a laptop that you borrowed from the company that you worked at perhaps, or maybe turning in an account because you will no longer be working there, or maybe working in that department, or you're taking on a new role. Because something that did come through at the beginning before pulling out these cards is that in the next 14 days, you could be taking on new responsibilities or a new role. So this committed card is making me think of a swap, two people switching. So, or like one person passing down, responsibilities to another, because it's sort of like passing down the baton, right? But I do see someone handing over something because they are either leaving, or because they're leveling up, or because they are taking on a new role. And we have the 8 of Clubs with number 13, the snake. Interesting, because the snake does make me think of growth, transformation. And then the number 13 reminds me of the 13th major arcana of the deck, which is the Death card, which is also a card that speaks about transformation, endings, and the opening for new beginnings. It's a card of rebirth. And then I personally think of the 8 of Clubs as the 8 of Wands in traditional tarot. And the 8 of Wands is a card that speaks about action and movement, speed, as well as progress. So I do feel like in the next 14 days, there's going to be some kind of progress. There will be changes. It could be in an area of life. It could be at work, at school, perhaps, in terms to your education, higher learning. For others of you, you may be experiencing these changes in your relationships. But with, this energy of death and endings and rebirth, I do feel like there is going to be some kind of outgrowing, maybe like outgrowing an environment, outgrowing a role, or perhaps even outgrowing a relationship dynamic. I know I am, and I will be giving different examples. And the reason why that is because I am getting different scenarios, different situations. So remember, only take that which resonates and applies, and anything that doesn't, just let it be discarded, because it may not be for you. Instead, it might be for somebody else who is watching this general reading. So one of the things that is coming through as an example is someone is deciding to get out of a business partnership because now they want to work on their own, or maybe they want to go back to a 9-to-5. Be employed. Or someone who was working on their own is now thinking about entering into a business partnership. Or maybe this could be a situation in which someone who is in a business partnership, they want to remain in a business partnership, but with somebody new, with somebody different. Or, going back to the example of roommates, maybe someone is wanting a new roommate, or they're thinking about moving into a new location, but moving into this new location means moving in with a new roommate. Or there could be an outgrowing. Maybe there is an outgrowing of a role, of a job, of a career. And so in the next 14 days, someone is considering, or maybe they are already making preparations to work somewhere new, work somewhere different, or pursue something different in terms to jobs, profession, or a career path. Because with this energy of drama, I am sensing a little bit of conflict. So some of you could still be a bit I wouldn't say indecisive, but there could be a little bit of back and forth going on sometime in the next 14 days about whether it is time to move on, whether it's a good idea to try something new or try your luck somewhere else. But for others of you, it could be that you have already decided, you have already made up your mind, but you still have to go through the whole maybe saying goodbye or picking up your stuff or turning things in, or maybe needing to hand in your 2 weeks notice, or maybe some of you have already done that and the next 14 days could literally be those 2 weeks. Or this could be a situation in which if you are employed, maybe someone who you work with has handed their 2 weeks notice and it is their role or their position that you're taking on. And so maybe in the next 2 weeks, they're teaching you the ropes or they're helping to get you settled in this new role, new position, and so forth. I'm giving different examples of the different ways or possible ways in which this energy here can unfold. But in the next 14 days, I do see either a coming together or a going your separate ways situation, entering into a new space or exiting a space. Because even these curtains here, it's making me think of opening the curtains at the start of the show, but it's also making me think of closing the curtains at the end of a show. You know, for some, you could be experiencing an ending of sorts. For others of you, you may be experiencing a beginning, or for some, it could be both. In the next 14 days, you could be experiencing or seeing more like being around that energy of something coming to completion, or maybe you are seeing someone saying goodbye to others, or you are seeing someone leaving. And at a different point in the next 14 days, you could be experiencing some kind of a beginning, or you could be meeting someone new or witnessing someone being introduced to a new environment, maybe an environment that you are already in. But whatever endings or beginnings are occurring, they are consensual. It's like you are agreeing to this. You either are preparing for it or you have prepared for it. You're very much aware of what is happening or what is going down or how things will unfold. Like, for example, if there's going to be some kind of closing, someone is leaving, someone is saying goodbye, you're aware of that. Or if you and another are going your separate ways, this is consensual. Like both of you have agreed to do this, or both of you have talked about this, or you have come to terms with the whole you going your separate ways. Yeah, because even though we have conflict here, the illustration in the committed card makes me think of something consensual, like two people having talked it out, or two people coming to terms with something, finding middle ground, coming to some kind of settlement, perhaps. So if there is a conflict of interest, or there is butting heads at some point in the next 14 days, I feel like this is only going to be temporary, because I do see you and whoever it is that you're butting heads with coming to some kind of agreement at the end before the next 14 days are over. I do see you meeting eye to eye or agreeing upon something. Yeah, because if we add up 5 and 9, we get 14, and that's reminding me of the Temperance card in traditional tarot, which is all about balance. And it also makes me think of like reciprocity. So yeah, I do see some kind of mutual agreements, mutual understanding, some kind of consensus. Yeah, and then having 13 and then 14, this does make me think of like progress. Whenever I see consecutive numbers in the spread, I know there's progress. I know that there's forward movement. Right, so if at any point in the next 14 days you feel like you're stuck, or something has gone stagnant, or there's been a pause of sorts, know that this won't last long, because there will be forward movement again. And in the next 14 days, don't be too quick to make assumptions or jump to conclusions. If something is not clear to you, or if you feel like someone is behaving in an unusual way, or something that you hear, something that you're informed about doesn't really sit right with you, or it does not align with a certain reality or what you have experienced or what you're seeing with your own eyes or what you intuitively feel, if you feel called to do so, and I do feel like you are advised to do so, get clarification, because there could be misunderstandings in the next 14 days. There could be miscommunication as well. And I do feel like if there are misunderstandings or if there is miscommunication, this will be cleared out, right? Because again, the illustration and the committed card is making me think of two individuals talking it out. So yeah, if you want to work it out with someone, if you are being let know that you very much can. Because the Eight of Wands makes me think of news traveling fast. And for whatever reason, I get the feeling that you might be hearing something through the grapevine. And, what you might be hearing might not be 100% accurate or 100% the truth. And so before making any decisions based on what you heard through the grapevine, you are being advised to first get either tangible proof or get more informed, or even go to the main source to get things cleared out. Because when information is passed down from one person to another and so forth, the truth or the information can get distorted, it can get embellished. It's making me think of that telephone game. Like you pass down one message to a person, and then that person needs to pass it down to the next person. And by the time it gets to the last person, the message is completely different. It no longer aligns with the original message. So yeah, if in the next 14 days you hear some kind of rumor, or there's gossip, or you get informed about someone through another person, once again, if something feels off to you or just doesn't seem quite right, then seek for more clarification. And what is being advised is to go to the main source. Talk to the person in question if this has something to do with someone, or seek information from a legitimate source is how it's coming through. So if this has nothing to do with the person and it has more to do with like something, you are being advised to do your own research. Like instead of relying on rumors per se, or what people are saying, or what you see on social media, maybe do your own research, especially if this has anything to do with a decision you are thinking about making, or you making up your mind about something. Yeah, very important, I feel, for the next 14 days. Oh, and if you can, like if you are doing your research or you're getting professional advice, if you can, if it's possible, or if it's optional, get a second opinion and even a third. Okay, but now I'm going to work with homemade divination dice to get a little bit more info. And this part of the reading might get pretty loud, so if you're wearing headphones or earphones with the volume way up, I recommend or advise for you to either lower down the volume or remove your headphones or earphones for the duration of this little segment here to protect your eardrums. But I will start in 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I will only be considering the dice that fell on the board in a section and with an illustration facing up. And the rest I will put back into its little drawstring bag. So the only one that fell on the board is the scroll. And it fell right in between play and learn. Interesting. So in the next 14 days, some of you may be getting certified for something, or you could be completing a course, or could be completing maybe a probation period, because I do see you getting approved for something, or you getting some kind of credentials or certification that will then allow for you to commence something or move up or move on or maybe put something into practice. But I also see that a lot of you could be in the next 14 days learning something new. You could be preparing yourself for something. But this does make me think of like learning something new or self-studying, self-learning on your spare time, and this being done willingly, this being done because you want to and because you find it fun, or whatever it is that you are learning or practicing or maybe even reviewing is interesting to you. Yeah, because learn and play is making me think of learning being fun or having a fun time while you're learning or practicing something or getting more knowledgeable about a specific topic or subject. And some of you could definitely be taking an online course in the next 14 days, or if you have, like in the next 14 days, you could be moving on to the next level, leveling up. And for a lot of you, this thing that you decided to learn more about or to teach yourself or to take a course about could be something that you decided to do just for fun, just for kicks, just because you had the time, or because it was available to you, it was an option or it was offered to you. And maybe you didn't really think much of it, or you didn't really think that you would end up completing this course, for example, or that you would end up wanting to learn more or take more courses about it or go more in depth with it. But then you did, and now you're like quite knowledgeable about it, or now you can put it in your resume. Now it's a skill that you have under your belt, or now you have a diploma for it. Now you have a certification for it. Maybe a license as well. Pretty cool. Or for some, this is a reminder to you that you do have a skill under your belt, that you do have maybe a title or a license for something that you can make use of now, or you do have certain skills or knowledge that you can now put in your resume or maybe add to your portfolio. Yeah, so I feel like for some, you are being let known to not ignore like a tool, a skill that you have under your belt, maybe a diploma, a degree, a certification, a title, a license, because it can come in handy, especially if you are applying or especially if you're starting somewhere new. And I'm being reminded of the message that came through at the beginning, how this, in the next 14 days, some of you may be raising the bar. And so, yeah, something that you studied in the past, got certified for in the past, it's going to serve you in the now. And this could be the very thing that will be raising the bar in some way, or that will be helping you to stand out or to level up, or to get a good spot is how it's coming through, or get considered for a promotion or get considered for a role, something along those lines. Yeah, sometimes we think we're wasting time learning about some things or practicing some skills or working at certain places that teach us new skills, maybe like people skills, customer service perhaps. But then later down along the road, these are the very experiences or things that end up helping us or serving us in some way. And I feel like that could be the case for some of you guys. Yeah, so just consider if in the next 14 days you do feel called to learn something or get more into something, or you feel curious about a topic and subject and that inspires to go more in depth with it, yeah, then don't hesitate to do so, because, something might come out of this, or you could use this, whatever you learned from this, later along the road. For whatever reason, this made me think of music sheets. So some of you could be learning to play a new instrument, or you could be learning how to read music, or maybe write or compose music. Or you could be practicing an instrument that you were learning how to play. Others of you could be learning a new language. And what came through in specific is playfully learning a new language. So you could be practicing with someone, like a native speaker, for example, or someone who's already proficient in this language in a playful manner. Or you could be playing games, and that is helping you to practice this new language, or maybe practice something new that you are learning. But there's this feeling of having fun or not taking it too seriously, and this allowing for you to learn without the pressure and making it easier to learn something and much faster as well. In the next 14 days, you may be getting results, some kind of results. And I do see the results being favorable or being positive. But now I'm going to pull out an Oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance for the next 14 days. And we have released the need to figure out your life purpose. Every step you take will help your purpose find you. And we do have this person walking on this path, and it seems like they are being guided by the sun. And the sun makes me think of the solar plexus chakra, which is the energy center that has to do with confidence, self-esteem, and self-identity. So the advice for you in the next 14 days is follow your gut feelings, your gut instincts, trusting yourself. You are leading yourself in the right direction. You are on the right path, on the right track. So keep moving forward and keep following that which inspires you and interests you and sparks a little bit of curiosity, harmless, fun, and playful curiosity in you. I like how this person is holding a torch because that makes me think of victory or someone being or feeling victorious. So yeah, I see you at some point in the next 14 days, and it could be throughout the entire next 14 days, feeling quite empowered, feeling invigorated, feeling excited about what is to come, or at some point, you could even feel in control or in management of maybe yourself or about an area of your life, maybe responsibilities that you are acquiring or that you are delegated. In the next 14 days, it could also be over a role or a position. You've got this is the message that is coming through. You've got this. So that could be the mantra for a lot of you, or that could be how you're actually feeling at some point throughout the next 14 days or throughout the entire next 14 days, that you've got this. Okay, so there's no need to try and figure everything out right now because life unfolds right in front of us with every step that we take. And with each decision, a new path may be carved, one that we weren't really anticipating or expecting, but that could be exciting to us nonetheless. So just something to keep in mind. But these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. Anything I want to point out, sun imagery, sun symbolism could be of significance. There could be a show, a drama series that you might get pretty invested in the next 14 days, or that you could be rewatching. But I do see some of you binging a drama, a television series, maybe a franchise, or this could even be like getting really invested in a book series perhaps, or in a manga comic book series, because committed is making me think of that, like getting invested in something, entertainment. This could also be something like getting invested in a creative project and a passion project, something that you're interested about. Maybe that has nothing to do with your current job or whatever it is that you are like studying. It could be something more for your entertainment. Yeah, but these are all the messages. Snakes could be of significance. A snake tattoo is what is coming through, or snake imagery, snake symbolism. Some of you could have been born in the year of the snake, or someone who was born in the year of the snake could be playing a significant role in your life in the next 14 days. Keys could also be an important sign or symbol. Some of you could be getting new curtains or sheets, bed sheets maybe. There's something about like ribbons, curtains, or a dress. Something flowy, something silky perhaps. And you could be enjoying walks around the block. There's even something like walking to work or walking from one building to another, or enjoying your break time, or soaking in the sun. So it could be pretty sunny at some point in the next 14 days, wherever you are located or will be at in the next 14 days. Yeah, but I see you enjoying your time out, or the time that you have to go anywhere, to be with yourself, or to do anything that it is that you want. Okay, but these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. And yeah, I'm wishing you a wonderful next 14 days, and until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the organ, bienvenidos to your reading. So the word soothe came to mind when meditating on the energy of this group, and I myself did feel quite relaxed and calm when tuning into this group's energy. So in the next 14 days, you may be practicing self-soothing exercises or rituals is what came through. Or you will be receiving soothing reassurance from someone or just people in your life in general, or possibly even from the universe. For others of you, it could be that at some point in the next 14 days, you will be feeling a lot more relaxed, less tense, and more at ease. Anything that has been bothering you physically, in the next 14 days, you might be attending to it or receiving care that will help with reducing or relieving the pain or the discomfort. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out the rest of the cards. Also, in the next 14 days, listening to instrumental music could be quite soothing and or relaxing for you. I know we have an organ here, but what is coming to mind is piano. So a lot of you could be drawn to the piano. Maybe you do play the piano, or you will be playing the piano in the next 14 days, or hearing a lot of piano scores, music. Claire de Lune just came to mind. Okay, but the card that flipped over is friendly with 52, high vibe, kind and generous, and the message, it's nice to just be friendly, platonic and kind. Understand though, when you are being taken advantage of, there may be a time where your friendliness can be taken as flirtation or weakness. Interesting that the friendly card came out for you guys, or flipped over for you guys, because honestly, I'm feeling very relaxed connecting with this group's energy. The energy coming through feels very peaceful, serene. And in my mind, I keep hearing a piano playing. So the next 14 days could be pretty chill, almost idyllic, perhaps. Or you yourself might be feeling pretty relaxed, at ease, at peace, not overly stimulated or rushed. And interesting, because the clarifiers that came out for you guys is the 9 of Swords with 41, Roses, and the 3 of Swords with number 10, the Pig. And I meant to say the 9 of Spades and the 3 of Spades. I apologize. It's just that the way I interpret these cards, it's quite different from how they are meant or designed to be interpreted. I associate them with the tarot. So the 9 of Spades for me is the 9 of Swords, and the 3 of Spades is the 3 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords in traditional tarot often speaks about restless sleep, anxiety, worry, stress, mental stress to be more specific. And the 3 of Swords has this similar vibe, though it is associated more with disappointments, disillusionments, heartaches, heartbreaks. And one thing that is standing out to me are the numbers 41 and 10, because if I reduce 41 by adding 4 and 1, I get 5, which speaks of change and transformation. And then the number 10 in and of itself represents endings, completion. And then if I were to reduce the number 10 by adding 1 and 0, I get 1. And 1 is a number that indicates new beginnings, assertion, leadership. And the number 1 major arcana of the tarot is the Magician, who is known as the creator. So as mentioned previously, I am sensing a very gentle energy. So either you recently have been going through a lot, you have been feeling a little stressed out, maybe you have had trouble falling or staying asleep, or you have been experiencing restless nights, restless sleep. Maybe there is something on your mind, something pending that is worrying you, or that your mind is kind of ruminating about it. And this ruminating, possibly obsessing over this, has been stressing you out a bit. And if that is the case, I feel like in the next 14 days, the tension, the stress, the worry will be lessening. It seems like throughout the next 14 days, it will be dissipating, slowly and gently dissipating. As mentioned previously, if you have been worried about something, it's very likely that in the next 14 days, you are going to be receiving some kind of reassurance. Or let's say if you have been waiting for a reply, for an answer, for an outcome, results, then in the next 14 days, I do see you receiving this. And you receiving this is going to help alleviate some of the stress, maybe pressure or worry, because maybe what has been causing anxiety, if that is the case, is waiting for the results or for a reply or anticipating the outcome, not knowing what the outcome will be. And so having what it is that you've been waiting for might alleviate some of that stress, that anxiousness, for example. Yeah, because this energy of like endings and changes making me think of either the wait is over or the thing that was creating worries has come to an end or is no more or is leaving. On the other hand, what else I'm seeing is that there could be residual stress. In other words, let's say when you were feeling quite stressed or when you were going through something difficult, emotions or energy from that time could still be lingering, which could be causing you to feel a little bit on edge or uneasy, even though at this moment, nothing stressful is really going on. So in other words, if things are pretty peaceful in your environment, your relationships, your day-to-day, and yet you still feel anxious or nervous or worried, it may be because what you are sensing or what you're feeling or what is coming through is a lingering energy from a period in your life that was indeed quite stressful for you, or induced a lot of stress in you. And so in the next 14 days, I feel like this energy is being brought to your attention so that it can be, in a way, felt through and cleared out. So the advice would be to not force yourself to mask how it is that you are feeling or to downplay whatever is coming to the surface for you or pretend as everything is fine. I know that can sometimes, right, help with not getting swept away by, those anxious feelings or getting caught up in overthinking or ruminating. Yet, I feel like that it might help if you are honest about what it is that you are experiencing and feeling. For example, if you have someone that you can trust and you feel safe to talk about these sort of things with, expressing to them what is going on and how you're feeling might help, or simply being honest with yourself about it, maybe writing it down or, giving yourself the space and maybe even the comfort needed to just simply acknowledge this and even feel through it while remaining aware that this is something residual or that this is simply something that you're feeling. It's more so about keeping that awareness that this is passing, right? Because at the beginning, I did mention something about self-soothing. And so in the next 14 days, you might find it necessary to self-soothe, or you are being advised to take some time to attend to your basic and mental needs, as well as self-soothe, self-regulate perhaps. Give yourself a little bit of care, love, and attention. Because with friendly, what else is coming through is that it might help if you provide yourself with the tools that you need to feel at ease and feel safe in your environment and within yourself. To feel comforted, most importantly, right? So if you are someone who appreciates the arts, like music, listening to music that soothes you and comforts you will be very helpful and healing for you, especially if you are feeling through residual emotions or energies, or you are feeling a little bit nervous. Finding something that relaxes you and reassures you and comforts you will be very, very helpful and will be a great service to you, a great service that you can provide to yourself during these times. So I feel like the next 14 days, or sometime in the next 14 days, this energy doesn't have to persist throughout the entire next 14 days. Could be about you becoming your best friend, you being friendly towards yourself, being understanding towards yourself, your needs, and whatever it is that you are experiencing in the moment. So there's no need to play pretend or mask or act all tough. I mean, if that helps to some degree, then maybe engage in that. But don't forget to acknowledge what it is that you're going through. It does no good to bypass your emotions or whatever it is that you're experiencing. It does no good to, in a way, gaslight yourself, right? Because that only can create more hurt, more pain, and ultimately be a disservice to yourself. But if it is the case that your life has been pretty hectic recently, like you haven't had the time to take a breather or to give yourself the grace to just feel through your emotions or be vulnerable whilst feeling safe to do so, then I feel like in the next 14 days or sometime in the next 14 days, you will be given the time to provide yourself exactly what it is that you need, to let go of anything that is lingering or does not serve you or is causing some imbalance within, per se. Yeah, some of you could be getting the time or even be receiving the resources or the help to possibly regulate your nervous system, or simply acknowledge what is it that is bothering you if that is the case, or what needs attending to, what needs a little bit of your TLC. But I am picking up on a very gentle disposition. So either you yourself have a gentle disposition, or in the next 14 days, you will have quite a gentle disposition, because this energy feels very relaxed. Although we do have these two cards that can indicate the opposite, the energy itself feels quite relaxed. Our body and our mind works in mysterious ways. When it needs to heal, when it needs to slow down, it activates something in us to allow for that. And so if your body or your mind needs to slow down, then it might, I'm not a doctor and I don't know much about this, so take the following with a grain of salt, but let's say it might, as an example, activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which relaxes your body. And so you might find yourself feeling more relaxed or not minding taking it slow. So in general, in the next 14 days, you might feel this need to slow down, or you might be quite drawn to things that inspire or encourage that. Because I keep getting images in my mind's eye of peaceful scenery or a tranquil ambience. So anything that overstimulates you or that is too loud or noisy or too much, you might feel resistant to it. You might not want to be around it or engage with it, or wanting to be possibly in environments or around people who are high strung or overactive or loud possibly, or that ultimately stress you out. I especially do see you not wanting to engage with anything or anyone who is not respectful or mindful of boundaries, who lacks consideration of others' boundaries and or personal space. Yeah, so once again, acknowledge how it is that you are feeling. You don't have to put yourself in situations or through situations that are stressing you out or overwhelming you if you don't have to in the next 14 days. Because I feel like in the next 14 days, you might have a lower tolerance than you normally do for things that do overstimulate you or stress you out or get you all high strung. Yeah, so in the next 14 days, if you can, just give yourself a little bit of grace and give yourself the adequate space to relax, right? Like a space in which you can be in silence or that is fairly quiet, or that you can take it slow, take your time without any pressure, and so forth. Okay, but now I want to work with the homemade divination dies. Okay, anything more? Okay, I guess this is it. So I will only be considering the dies that fell on the board with an illustration facing up. And I will put the rest back into the drawstring bag. So for play, we have the dice and the television. For learn, we have the cauldron. And for tasks, we have the sun. Interesting. So when it comes to play, the dice made me think of board games, which I personally think that board games can be at times relaxing. It's not always the case. So in the next 14 days, you might be drawn to games or activities, again, that allow for you to slow down and to relax, or maybe even get your mind off of other things. And the dice does make me think of gambling. So what I'm seeing with the television is that in the next 14 days, you could be, testing your luck a bit and trying a new show, trying a new genre when it comes to television series or dramas to find out what else is out there that might entertain you or be entertaining or interesting to you. Yeah, so you could be trying something new, like a new show, for example. Or maybe you already know of a series or a show, but for a while you've kind of been resistant on watching it. And sometime in the next 14 days, you're giving it a go because the TV is making me think of entertainment. So as mentioned, in the next 14 days, you could be gravitated towards content that comforts you as a way to self-soothe. So in other words, in the next 14 days, I do see you watching comfort films or series, dramas, or reading comfort books, novels, or comics. Yeah, and you might be stumbling upon like a new book, new series, show, movie that will become a comfort for you. But with Cauldron here and Learn, some of you could be learning how to cook, or you could be learning a new recipe in the next 14 days. This is also making me think of baking. Or if you are learning how to bake, how to cook, I do see you practicing sometime in the next 14 days and learning a new recipe, or your cooking, your baking skills will be improving. Others of you could be learning how to concoct remedies or maybe even spells, because the cauldron is making me think of a craft. So in the next 14 days, you could be learning a new craft, learning more things about a craft, and getting quite invested in that. The cauldron does also make me think of manifesting, and I did mention the magician at some point. So some of you may be learning new manifesting techniques, or you could be coming up with your own manifesting technique or way. And I see you having fun with that. I see a lot of you having fun with connecting with your inner witch. Oh, some of you could be learning recipes or remedies that help with like self-soothing, or what is coming through in specific is that sometime in the next 14 days you will be learning what helps you to self-soothe, to relax, to get better sleep, or to feel at ease, be present. And these will be healthy ways that are conducive to your well-being. The expression that just came to mind was learn the ways of your soul, learn the ways of your body. So some of you could be learning about that. With the sun on tasks, the sun makes me think of energy, being energized, revitalized. It makes me think of vitality. So it falling on task, this lets me know that you will have the energy to get whatever it is that you need to get done in the next 14 days. You will be completing your tasks. And a lot of the tasks that you will be completing them enthusiastically. The sun can speak of success and positive news, so I do see you receiving some good news in the next 14 days, or you feeling quite proud of yourself, quite happy that you got something done. Like, yes, I completed that task. I've met that deadline, and so I've gotten that out of the way, and I feel so good about that. I'm so relieved. So if there's anything that has been pending or that you have been kind of postponing because you were dreading attending to it or doing it, completing it, I feel like you will be getting it done in the next 14 days or attending to it. Yeah, and this in itself will be good news to you. And or if something has been pending because you have been waiting on somebody else to get something done, the same thing. It will be completed, or it will get processed or moved forward or attended to at some point in the next 14 days. And this in itself might be good news for those who are resonating with this. I also do see you getting approved for something, or you getting like the green light, or you passing something. I'm seeing like a stamp of approval. And if you're going for any kind of checkups in the next 14 days, I do see you coming out of this checkup feeling quite relieved or feeling better or more at ease than how you felt before you came in for that checkup. Yeah, I feel like things will be attended to in the next 14 days. Like anything that was concerning you, worrying you, it will be addressed, attended to, and that in itself will be something good. I keep thinking of the word relieved. I feel like in the next 14 days, a lot of you will be relieved or feeling quite relieved. Or your mind will be put at ease. What I just heard in my mind was the checkup went well. The checkup went well. Okay? But sun imagery, sun symbolism could be of significance. Some of you could be attending, or you could be invited to a birthday party. Maybe someone will be celebrating their solar return in the next 14 days. Maybe it's you, but it could also be a loved one or someone that you know. And once again, remember, right? To be friendly and considerate of yourself in the next 14 days. So if you do end up going to any event and at any point you want to go home, yeah, then don't force yourself to stay for longer than you actually want to. Okay, but let's see. The last card for you guys is you are never stuck and you have endless choices. So yeah, you might be presented with an offer, or you are simply being reminded that there are other options or there are other ways, right? So maybe it's more so about taking the time to do a little bit of research, get yourself informed, or maybe get centered and grounded to think of other possibilities or come up with new alternatives. Yeah, and you are never stuck is making me think of how energy is always flowing. And so, if there is residual or stagnant energy, it is bound to come to the surface at some point to be released. It's just the course and the nature of things that it has to happen in order for there to be balance and in order for you to feel good and well within yourself and be able to function properly or in a way that is conducive to you and to your well-being. Okay, but let's see, infinity symbols, birds could be of significance, as well as the planet Jupiter. The planet Jupiter is the planet of expansion and growth. So luck is on your side, okay? And with this bird here, it does make me think of divine protection. So you are being divinely protected. Yeah, and the infinity symbol does remind me of the magician. So the magician card could be of significance for some of you. The magician is associated with the planet Mercury, and I believe it's associated with the zodiac sign Gemini. So that planet or that zodiac sign could be of significance. So because I did mention Mercury, it made me think of the ways in which we talk to ourselves and talk about ourselves. So in the next 14 days, be gentle in the way that you talk to yourself and the way that you talk about yourself. No need to be cruel or self-deprecating, okay? Remember, you are a person. The way you treat yourself matters. Oh, by the way, roses, especially like wild roses, could be of significance, or flowers. I'm also seeing tulips. Smiley or happy faces could be an important sign, as well as pigs. Some of you could have been born in the year of the pig. And if so, this is serving as confirmation, or someone who was born in the year of the pig may be playing a significant role in your life in the next 14 days. You could be gifted flowers, or you yourself might be gifting others flowers. And something that is coming through at the last minute is if someone who is normally chirpy and happy is not looking so chirpy in the next 14 days, it might simply be because they are going through something. Maybe they are processing something of their own. So just keep that in mind if that resonates with you, if you do feel like that is the case. Okay? Okay. By the way, in the next 14 days, you might be waking up earlier than usual. Maybe because you need to, but I do feel like if this is the case, it will be because you feel inclined to do so. It's happening naturally and organically that you're waking up earlier than usual. And it could also be because if you haven't been getting enough sleep lately, in the next 14 days, you are getting better sleep. And so you're feeling well rested enough to start your day earlier than usual. Okay, but these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you to all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you, and I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful next 14 days, and until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the violin, bienvenidos to your reading. So the message, rest assured everything will be fine, as well as the word wonderland, came to mind when meditating on the energy of this group, and I did see in my mind's eye rain or rainfall. So sometime in the next 14 days, it could be raining, or the weather, maybe even temperature of wherever you will be located sometime in the next 14 days could be creating a melancholic, nostalgic, sentimental, or cozy vibe, mood, or ambience. Sometime in the next 14 days, some of you could be cozying up, getting all snuggly and warm to read a book, binge on YouTube videos, watch a film, or drink a hot beverage. And if there is anything that has been concerning or worrying you, you are being let know or reassured that everything is going to be all right. Or in the next 14 days, you will be receiving some tangible proof or confirmation or reassurance or information that will reassure you or let you know, confirm to you, that everything will indeed be all right. And I am not really sure why the word wonderland came to mind. It makes me think of an amusement park, a fair, a festival. So for some, this may be indicating that sometime in the next 14 days, you could be attending or going to a festival, an amusement park, a fair, or a circus is what came through. But the word wonderland could be indicating something completely different for some of you. So only take that which resonates, makes sense, and or applies to you, okay? But now I'm going to pull out the rest of the cards. The movie or the character Peter Pan or Peter Pan's story could be of significance. Wonderland did make me think of Neverland. Ooh, okay. I need to censor this. So we have number 70 with penetration, infiltration, as well as impose and access. And the message, there is a strong energy trying to enter into your energy space in some way. It's a strong force you may not expect. There may also be a need for you to feel it necessary to impose yourself in a situation and make yourself known. The number 7 may be of significance. Maybe you were born in the month of July or on the 7th of a month, or someone who was born in the month of July on the 7th of a month, or on a year that ends with the number 7 could be playing a significant role in your life in the next 14 days. But let me pull out a clarifier now. The message that just came to mind was the 7th string in the 7th string. I don't know what that is about. I don't know what string instruments out there have 7 or more strings. But if that makes sense to any of you, then this could be serving as some kind of confirmation. Okay. And we have the 6 of spades, number 29, the mouse. I personally think of the 6 of spades as the 6 of swords from traditional tarot, which is a card that indicates travel, moving forward, transitions. It's also a card that can sometimes hint at spiritual guidance, being divinely guided, being divinely led, or listening to one's spirit guides, intuition, inner calling, inner guidance. So in the next 14 days, I do see you paying close attention to either your gut feelings, gut instincts, or your intuitive senses, nudges. Anything that feels off or doesn't feel quite right, you're paying attention to it. And you doing this will be assisting with you guiding yourself in the right direction. You might also see a lot of signs in the next 14 days, possibly even experience synchronistic events or have unusual, maybe even paranormal-like experiences. And these are not to scare you, they're more so to confirm certain things to you or to help bring attention to certain things in your life that are important, like important information, for example. Because throughout the next 14 days, or the majority of the next 14 days, I do see you being divinely guided. So if you believe in spirit guides, your spirit guides will be contacting you or communicating with you in ways that is visible to you and that will catch your attention, that will bring your attention to certain things that are in that moment quite important. Yet what else is coming through is, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to explain this in a way that makes sense, but it's almost as if your subconscious is manifesting signs or synchronicities to get you to pay attention to certain things. Like your inner awareness is trying to catch your attention, the attention of your conscious awareness through signs in your environment or through synchronistic events or peculiar experiences. This is an interesting energy, I will say. So if this is not really resonating with you or it sounds too like far-fetched, then if you feel called to do so, you can definitely choose another group or skip this video entirely. But I do feel like the next 14 days, it's about paying close attention to the signs, because I feel like either your guides or your higher self or your subconscious, your psyche, or your intuition is trying to convey or communicate something to you. It's almost as if they sense or they see something coming and they're trying to give you a heads up about it, or they are doing their very best to help you see what is in alignment with you and what isn't. It's like they're working with you. So some of the things that you are being given a heads up about could be things that you already know, perhaps. And so the signs that you are seeing in your environment are serving more so as a confirmation to you, to reassure you, to validate you, perhaps. So trust in that inner knowing, in those instincts, in your intuition in the next 14 days. But I do want to pull out an extra card as a clarifier. This is the only group so far I've done this for. And I will be pulling out a tarot card. Can you get more clarification about the next 14 days, please? Five of Wands in the upright with conflict, clash of egos, and fights. Yeah, see how in the illustration we have this person kind of pointing somewhere, and I always think that this person is pointing towards an exit, like telling this other individual in the illustration to leave, to get out. And so with penetration and infiltration, I feel like in the next 14 days, I want to say your defenses are going to do a pretty good job of keeping and or staving away anything that is not in alignment with you, anything that isn't good for you, good for your mental health, your emotional, or even physical health. Anything that is here simply to mess with the peace or cause disequilibrium. This is reminding me of an immune system, which is why I mentioned defenses. Like your defenses will be doing a pretty good job of not allowing for anything that is unwanted, unhelpful, or unhealthy to get into your space, your energy field, or be anywhere near you. So you're being very well protected, or you're keeping yourself well protected in the next 14 days. And if there has been anything bothersome, cumbersome, anything that is not of your highest good, that does not belong in your space, in your energy field, it's leaving sometime in the next 14 days. Again, this protective mechanism that you have is making sure that this is removed or that this leaves. What I heard in my mind was the protective mechanism is being activated. And in the next 14 days, some of you could be feeling called or drawn to cleanse your space. It could be like doing an energy cleansing, or you could be feeling called to declutter your space, to get rid of anything that just has been accumulating dust, taking up space, and it's no longer sustainable for you to keep it or keep it around. So you could be throwing out some things or donating them. But I do feel like this is more so about energy, or maybe something to do with thoughts, beliefs, the mind, or even something to do with the body. The Six of Swords does make me think of healing. So I feel like there will be healing in the next 14 days, but it feels very on the down low. It feels almost like undercover, like things are happening behind the scenes. So again, it makes me think of like when the body does its thing. You know, the body is always working and functioning and doing so much for us without us being aware. So I feel like something similar is happening here. Something is being worked on or cleared out behind the scenes. You might be aware of it to some extent, but I feel like most of the work is being done on the down low without you maybe needing to do much. This could also be your energy field, right? Your energy fields could be working I want us to say over time, but just doing what is necessary to stave off or clear out any unwanted or stagnant energies, any maybe attachments or things like debris is how it's coming through. Debris, anything that isn't of you, anything that doesn't belong, anything that just messes with your inner equilibrium or messes with the function of things is how it's coming through. Yeah, so I do see there being like either a purging, a cleansing, or a clearing out happening in the next 14 days. And what is interesting is that it's not you who is walking away. It's more so that something is being cleared out, something is being removed. Like you're staying, but something is leaving. And I keep saying something, yet for some of you, and this might only apply for a select few of you, it may be a person who is moving away or who is leaving or who you yourself are choosing to not give access to not allow into your space or maybe even back into your space or into your life, perhaps. Because the Five of Wands does make me think of someone who's standing their ground and in a way imposing their boundaries because they want to keep the peace, right? They want to maintain their peace, their inner balance, the harmony. Because the Six of Swords does indicate moving on to calmer waters. So this to me is indicating that we're not going back to anything that was turbulent, chaotic, or unstable. Instead, we're continuing or you're continuing to move on to calmer waters or stay in calm and steady waters. And anything that wants to make an appearance to simply create waves or tsunamis is not allowed if they are not willing to maintain the peace or be here in peaceful terms or add value to this environment. It's a pretty hardcore energy, I will say, because it feels like a no BS kind of vibe. Yeah, so in the next 14 days, I don't see you messing with anything that will ultimately mess with your health, your peace of mind, or with your peace. I keep thinking of technology for some reason. So some of you could be, I know I'm not going to be using the correct terminology here, so I apologize in advance, but like cleaning or clearing your tech, your hard drive, your desktop. You could be debugging something, like debugging a software program or removing bugs. Yeah, because I see something like anything that has been slowing down a software, for example, or has been slowing you down maybe, or slowing things down in an area of life that is being detected or has been detected. And in the next 14 days, it's being cleared out so that then things can progress or flow or move more seamlessly. Yeah, so sometime in the next 14 days, you might be seeing improvement. Like anything that slowed you down or was quite slow will be seeming or feeling or being a lot faster. I see something or a few things working a lot better, functioning a lot better with a lot more efficiency, or you yourself could be feeling a lot better in the next 14 days. That is, if you have been feeling a bit sluggish, under the weather, or if your energy levels have been pretty low at some point in the next 14 days, I feel like that's going to change. You're going to feel a little bit more energized. And when you see things speeding up or something being a lot more efficient, if this is in terms to like how a software or a program or a tech is functioning, it will be an indicator that any issue that was slowing things down has been fixed, or anything that was creating a malfunction perhaps has been removed. And because I keep talking about tech, maybe some of you are upgrading your tech and you're seeing a lot more improvement because of that. Because now the Six of Swords is making me think of upgrading. You could be upgrading to something a lot faster, a lot more efficient, more up to date. And because of that, you are seeing a vast improvement or a vast difference, which will in and of itself be something positive. Yeah, okay, but now I'm going to work with the homemade divination dice to get more info. So for this part of the reading, If you are wearing headphones or earphones with the volume way up, I do recommend for you to either lower down the volume or remove your headphones or earphones just for this part of the reading, simply to protect your eardrums because it might get pretty loud and noisy. Okay, so I will start in 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I will only be considering the dies that fell with an illustration facing up on the board in a section, and the rest I will be putting back into the drawstring bag. Okay, so the only dies that fell on the board are the paintbrush, and it fell right on tasks. The latter fell right in between love and tasks. And then we have the black cat that fell right on learn. So with the paintbrush, in the next 14 days, you could be doing a paint job, painting or repainting. Yeah, the latter is definitely making me think of like painting the outside of a house or of a building, or it could be the inside as well. Some of you might be contractors, and so you could be working on a contracting project in the next 14 days. But because the latter fell right in between love and tasks, I do see you working on a project in the next 14 days. And this could be a very important project because the latter does make me think of progress. It does make me think of climbing the corporate ladder or of like social status or social recognition. So, okay, different things are coming to mind. One is that in the next 14 days, you may be completing a project that will help you elevate in your career, in your profession, or that might help you get more job opportunities, right? Because whatever project you are completing could be gaining you some kind of recognition, or this project could be a perfect opportunity to get your name out there and to demonstrate your skills or to show what it is that you can do, maybe to promote your business, right? If this has something to do with the business of yours. What else I'm seeing is something that you've created in the past could be gaining you some recognition in the next 14 days, could be popping up, or could be the very thing that will help you get a job or a career opportunity, because the word sample is coming to mind. So this project could be the sample that you present to a potential client or maybe an employer, and it's the very thing that gets you the job, because something else that was coming through was a portfolio. So for those of you who have built a portfolio or like a resume even, this portfolio or resume could be the thing that is getting you some kind of opportunity, or it's helping you to move something along or get farther in your career, in your profession, in a line of work. It's helping you move up, is how it's coming through, or to get a better job offer, maybe a better opportunity. For example, a position or a job with higher pay, a better salary. Because ultimately, I feel like something that you love, something that you're passionate about, or something that you were quite proud of, like a project that you were very proud of, a piece of work, a piece of art that you were very proud of, maybe a program, because I did speak about like software and tech, maybe like a software program that you were quite proud of, that you created or that you modified or that you edited, perhaps something along those lines. It's the very thing that is helping you move up or get a position somewhere or advance in something, or it's helping with you completing other tasks a lot faster, right? So because what just came to mind was the word plug-in. So maybe something that you did in the past, in the next 14 days, it will be helping you in some way. It will be helping you with skipping some steps. Because you did this one thing, now you don't have to redo something, or now you don't have to go through some steps because this thing that you did in the past takes care of it, takes care of all of that. So these could also be like requirements. I'm thinking now of school, like maybe you took some classes or courses in high school that fill in some college requirements. So you don't have to take certain classes or courses. and that results in you being like 1 or 2 steps ahead of maybe everybody else or the majority. But whatever this is, this will be something that, like I said, you are quite proud of or were quite proud of when you were working on it, doing it, learning it, maybe getting certified for it. Because for some, this could be like a certification, a degree, a title that is now helping you in some way. Or this could be that something that you love doing is the very thing that is gaining recognition and that it's like opening doors of opportunity for you. Yeah, so again, only take that which resonates and or applies. Because I'm getting like very different examples for what these two could mean or be referring to. So just keep in mind that what I shared so far are more so examples. It could be your specific situation, but they are more so examples to help illustrate or to give you an idea of how this energy here can manifest or how it can unfold in one's life. But now moving on with the cat. The very first thing that came to mind is you will be learning new moves. You will be learning, new yoga poses is what came to mind. So for those of you who are yogis or you are practicing yoga, I feel like you will be learning, maybe mastering a new yogi or yoga pose. Something else that came through is in the next 14 days, you will be becoming aware of muscles that you've never felt before. So a lot of you could be getting into fitness or some kind of activity that really helps with you connecting with your body, especially parts of your body that you don't normally exercise or maybe actively or consciously connect with or are aware of. Yet what else is coming through is in the next 14 days, some of you, because I feel like this might not apply to everybody, will be learning how to better take care of either a feline, a cat, or an animal. You could be learning more about a specific animal as well, or you could be learning some things that is specific to your own animal companion if you do have one or more. Something else that came through is for those of you who do work with animals or spend time with animals or do have animal companions, sometime in the next 14 days, you will be learning how to better communicate with them or understand their cues. Or you will be learning what their cues or certain behaviors mean. I also do see some of you hearing or receiving news about an animal companion or a furry friend. Some of you could be learning or hearing that a furry animal is doing better. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out an extra oracle card to get any last messages, advice, and guidance. In the next 14 days or sometime in the next 14 days, you could be doing some like house maintenance or apartment maintenance, repairs. Some of you could be getting a paint job done on a vehicle or a mode of transportation. So it could be a bicycle, a motorcycle. Or you could be making some repairs to a mode of transportation. But we have your inner being is a natural state of love regardless of the conditions. So I see companionship here, solidarity, community, and peaceful understanding. Yeah, but this also makes me think of a farewell or saying goodbye. So you could be saying goodbye to someone because they are leaving or traveling abroad or relocating, or maybe because you are going back home or you're leaving town or something along those lines. Yes, but let's see, anything else I want to point out? You could have been born in the year of the rat, and if so, this is serving as confirmation, but also someone who was born in the year of the rat could be playing a significant role in your life in the next 14 days. Violins could be of significance. Black cats, as well as doves or birds that come in in pairs, like if you ever see a pair of birds, that could be a good omen or an important symbol or sign. Yeah, but these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you to all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful next 14 days. And until the next moment, bye-bye. Hello, if you were drawn to group 4, strings, bienvenidos to your reading. So in the next 14 days, you might be hearing a lot of news or receiving a lot of information. I do sense that sometime in the next 14 days, you will be receiving advice and or guidance from someone. And this could be from a professional, or it could be from a friend, an acquaintance, a coworker, a colleague, or possibly even a stranger. What just came to mind was the word comments. So if you are active on social media or you have some kind of social media following, you may be receiving a lot of comments on your posts, on your page, your content. Some of you could even be receiving quite a few DMs, and or there could be a lot of exchanging of emails. So this might apply especially for those of you who are professionals yourselves, entrepreneurs, or are currently working or collaborating with others, or are employed. And for some, in the next 14 days, you will be receiving a lot of messages, possibly downloads from either your spirit guides, your spirit team. It could be from your ancestors, loved ones who are on the other side, or your higher self. For those of you who are very sensitive to spirit or energy, if you're clairaudient, for example, you could be hearing and or sensing spirit quite keenly sometime in the next 14 days. So you might be channeling a lot of messages from spirit. It just feels like either spirit is quite chatty in the next 14 days, or if it's not spirit, it could be people around you will be quite communicative, or there could just be a lot of noise. If you're someone who tunes into the news or keeps up to date with the current events, then there could be a lot of updates in the news or information about current events, something along those lines. Maybe some of you are in a field where you do need to constantly be informed or keep up to date with what is going around in the world, or maybe in a community or an industry. And if that is the case, in the next 14 days, I do see you pretty busy, because it seems like there's a lot of info, or you will be taking in a lot of information or researching quite a bit. Yeah, quite interesting. But now I'm going to move on to the rest of the cards. And what I heard right now was getting quite a few phone calls. So I wonder if some of you work in customer service, or your main job functions are something like answering the phone or answering email, something along those lines. And again, if that is the case, in the next 14 days could be pretty busy. And for those of you who are self-employed and you do process orders or commissions, if you do something like pre-orders or you book appointments, it's very likely that sometime in the next 14 days, you will be receiving a lot of requests, orders, or booking quite a few appointments. Yeah, I see people reaching out to you. Okay. Or maybe you could be making a few phone calls. What just came to mind was the expression getting things in order. So some of you could be getting something in order, or reaching out to people, places, offices to get something processed or finalized, or get more information about something that is in the works or that you are processing. Ooh, okay. And 2 cards flipped over. And we have your time with alone time, solo excursions, the number 40, and the message, don't feel like you can't have time for yourself. You are independent, and that is what makes you so beautiful. Take time away only for yourself. You deserve to do what you want when you want. I find this quite interesting because, like I said, I was sensing or picking up on a lot of noise, like a lot going on around me, a lot of chatter. And so if there has been a lot happening around you, if there has been a lot of talk, a lot of chatter, a lot of noise, then I feel like your spirit guides, they do want to reassure you or let you know that you can take time for yourself and that maybe it's necessary, it's needed at this moment, and that sometime in the next 14 days, you will be given some reprieve of this noise, or you will have the opportunity to take a break or spend time alone or spend time in a place, in a space where you can be in silence or where you don't have to be hearing all this chatter, all this noise. The word disconnect just came to mind. So some of you could be being advised to maybe disconnect for a while, maybe for 1, 2, or a couple of days from social media, perhaps if there is a lot of noise on social media or you are being bombarded on social media. You know, this is just advice. You don't have to take it if it doesn't really resonate with you or if you don't align with the following, which is if you do have a social media page in which you can disable the comments or put your account in private so you won't be receiving DMs, then maybe at some point in the next 14 days, you might be called to do just that, simply to take a break, to take a breather. Some of you could be closing a portal or closing a page for maintenance sometimes in the next 14 days. I'm also thinking of like announcing that you're booked for the month or maybe for the week, and so you're not taking in more orders or pre-orders, something along those lines. But for others of you, this could be more so about taking a break, maybe going on a little escapade or mini vacation where you don't have to worry about work or replying emails or answering questions or anything of that sort. And for those of you who are parents, right, in the next 14 days, you could also be taking a little break to attend to you, to your basic needs, maybe even schedule appointments. Overdue appointments is how it's coming through, to see the doctor, you know, just to get a checkup or visit the dentist or go to a spa, something along those lines. Yeah, but I do feel like you will be getting an opportunity or a chance to catch up on some me time or to spend quality time with yourself or to attend to your basic needs or simply to rest, take a breather, slow down. And again, I feel like this card is more so here to reassure you that it's okay if you do so. There's nothing wrong with that. We all need a little me time to take care of ourselves, okay? So just keep that in mind. And then we have number 59 with committed, union, and agreement. And the message, a commitment needs to be made or will be made. Trust it's the right choice and stick with it. So this card made me think of a decision. And actually this card came up for another group. I think it was for group 1. And group 1 also got 2 cards, I believe. But it was in this pair. But the committed card made me think of needing to make an important decision. And so some of you could actually be taking some alone time or some me time to introspect, think about what it is that you want to decide upon. Because I feel like either you already have something that is weighing on your mind of whether you should go for it or not, do the thing or not, say yes or say no, commit or not commit. And maybe up until now, you really haven't had the time to consider what it is that you want to do, how you want to approach something, how you want to follow through, perhaps if you want to follow through with something. I'm just giving different examples here. And so sometime in the next 14 days, I feel like you will be getting the time or having the time to actually think things through, really consider your options and contemplate on what it is that you want or what you feel is best for you at this moment or best for your business or your company. If you are business owners or you are CEOs or executive directors of a company, and if this decision here has anything to do with your business or with your career. And committed is making me think of loyalty. So there could be this back and forth going on, or this inner turmoil of how to balance things out and maybe what's most important to you or just in general. Is it, your personal time, your personal space, your personal life, or is it your commitments to your work, your commitments to a business, to your career, to school, to a relationship, your relationships, or to others? Because I feel like you guys have a strong sense of responsibility and even loyalty, or you will in the next 14 days. And because of this, you might find yourself struggling with taking time for yourself or taking time for like personal pleasures or attending to your basic needs, doing something that is outside of, let's say, your day-to-day commitments or responsibilities. Because you doing so could feel like you are letting others down or being irresponsible or non-committal, something along those lines. And I feel like in the next 14 days, you could be working on finding this balance or coming to this realization that you taking time for you doesn't mean that you are less committed to your responsibilities. It just means that you also take your well-being seriously. And that sometimes we do need to take time for ourselves or time to attend to our personal matters to be able to be fully present in other areas of our life and in our other kind of responsibilities, right? So again, I feel like the overall message here, the main message is it's okay for you to take time for you. It's okay for you to have your personal space, your personal time. It's okay for you to have a personal life. Okay, it doesn't all have to be about work or school or others. Your life can also, and I don't really like to use this word often, but it should also be about you and what you love. And if you love work and what you're committed to, your commitments, that's perfectly fine. But if you ever do need time to slow down or be in silence, gather your thoughts, then give yourself that time. Make that time for you. But I feel like in the next 14 days, you will have the time to do just this, or you will be given the opportunity to, again, make time for you. And so because I said it opportunity, it's very important for you to remember this, right? Because as I always mention in general readings, universe can give you opportunities for certain things, but it then depends up to you what you do and what you make of these opportunities, whether you take them or not. So just remember what was mentioned previously. It's okay for you to take time for you or have your personal space, your personal time, your personal life. Okay? But to clarify, we have the 9 of clubs with number 26, the park. Oh, I felt a very calm and relaxing energy when looking at this card. And I interpret this deck or the cards of this deck a bit differently than from how they were intended to. I associate these cards with the tarot. That's just how I read this deck, or I have learned to read it. So the 9 of clubs to me is the 9 of wands. And the 9 of wands is a card that often speaks about pushing through. It's a very hard-working energy. It's a card that speaks of persistence and perseverance and gathering one's strength to keep on going. So oftentimes the 9 of wands can speak of fatigue, weariness. And I like how in the illustration there is a path, because this does make me think of, this is the expression that came to mind. It might or it might not resonate with everybody, so remember, only take that which resonates and applies. And the expression is life goes on. So what I get from that is that the road isn't blocked, right? So if at this moment you feel like you're hitting a dead end, or like you're trudging on, because the Nine of Wands has that energy of like pushing through and kind of fighting against the current, which can be very, very tiring and might require a lot of effort. So if it feels like that right now to you, I feel like this road here is indicating that although it feels like this is not to say that the road has been blocked, or that you're being pushed back, or that there's not a way through, there's not a way out, or there's no way to continue moving forward, because there is. So if you are experiencing, you know, this sort of heavy energy at this moment, this is temporary. It is something that will kind of settle down at some point. Yet for the meanwhile, you are being advised to not push yourself to any kind of limit, because how it's coming through is it's not really necessary, and your well-being is most important. You see how we have this bench here? This is making me think of rest, right? So what you're being let known is you can rest. You don't have to keep trudging forward every second, every minute of every moment of your life. You can take a breather, you can take a rest. And if you do, that's not going to make the road disappear, right? If you do, the road will still be there. The way out, the way through, the way forward will still be there. Or whatever it is that you're currently working on, whatever it is that you're aiming to achieve, the road towards that finish line, let's say, will still be there, right? So it's okay if you take a break. And I feel like for a lot of you in the next 14 days, you will feel drawn, or you will give yourself permission to slow down at some point, or just sit down on a park bench and take a breather and allow yourself to relax, or just be in your own presence, be in your own company. Soak in the sun, or simply soak in what has been going on, so that you can get a better grasp on it and get your thoughts in order and gather yourself as well. The message on this card reads, the park foretells new love when very near, if distant false friends. So one thing else that is coming through is you do have people in your life who love you and who support you and care deeply for you. And they wouldn't mind if you took time for you, because these people who love you care about you and your well-being. They want to see you thriving. They want to see you doing well, not just in your career, not just in terms to your education or finances or status. They want to see you doing well in your personal life, in your private time, in terms to your health, your wellness, and your spirit. So those who matter, those who care, will be there no matter what. Not mattering if you choose to slow down, take a break, take a breather, or spend time contemplating about things, or introspecting, or the word hiatus just came to mind. Going on a little hiatus in order to recharge, or again, gather your thoughts perhaps. Those who are here in passing, those who are not meant to stay because they were never meant to stay, might pass by or decide to leave. Yet remember, those who matter, those who care, those who are meant to be in your life for a little bit longer, or are lifelong friends, will stay regardless of whether you choose to sit for a little while instead of just keep trudging on. Yeah, and some of you could be visiting the park. Maybe you will be going to some kind of like national park is what came through, like a reservoir, or maybe a resort. Or sometime in the next 14 days, you could feel inspired to spend a little more time outside, breathe in fresh air, soak up the sun, or feel the breeze, hear the sounds of nature. Spending time in nature or around trees could be very soothing and relaxing for a lot of you, or that could help with drowning any noise inside of your mind that doesn't allow for you to think, or to be in silence. Yeah, I keep hearing the expression gathering your thoughts. So that could be what a lot of you will be doing at some point in the next 14 days, or just maybe detoxing, from all the noise by going someplace quiet or someplace where there isn't a lot of noise pollution, or where the primary sounds are the sounds of nature, like of a brook or birds chirping or leaves rustling. The word crisp just came to mind, as well as crunchy. I don't know. And I thought of like crisp apples or an orchard. So some of you could be visiting an orchard, or you could also be really drawn to organic foods, maybe like fruits or veggies, crunchy veggies in the next 14 days. Yeah, because there's something here about like detoxing. There's something here about not feeling as inclined to consume things that are heavy. And I don't mean this just in terms to foods, but also entertainment. Like sounds, perhaps, like music that have like heavy bass or like high-pitched sounds, films or videos that maybe are quite violent, or like storylines that deal with like heavier themes, stuff like that. I don't feel like you might be very inclined to like consume it or engage with it. Instead, you might be looking for something more lighter, something more fresh, something that allows for you to feel at ease, be at ease, or relax. And I find this interesting to say because I know some people who they relax by watching like scary movies or thrillers or horror films. So if that's like that happens to be your case, then maybe that's what you will be consuming because it is relaxing to you. But for others, that might not be the case. The number 26 is really standing out to me. So this number could be of significance. I felt strong affection when I looked at the number 26. So almost as if this number represented someone or was a reminder of someone that you love, that you esteem, that you feel great affection for. So maybe that could be the case for some of you. This could be like the birthday of someone who means a lot to you, like a loved one or a lover is what came to mind, but that doesn't have to be the case for every single one of you. Or this could be like a literal birthday, maybe like February 6th or June 2nd, or this could be an anniversary date or day, like the 26th of a month, or again, June 2nd, February 6th, or this could be an important day as well. This also made me think of like the number of a player, like how they have like the numbers on the back of their jersey. So this could be the number of somebody who is an athlete, like a baseball or American football or football player as an example. I feel like some of you are waiting for a deadline, or you could be waiting for a specific day or date, because on that day there could be like an important event, or you could be releasing something, launching something, or exposing something to like a public, or giving a speech, giving a presentation, taking an exam, or getting results back. And if that is the case, you could feel as if time is moving slowly because you are anticipating this day. Or if you feel like your life has been placed on hold for the duration of this time, like you're not able to breathe, or you're not able to just focus on your life or move forward until this day arrives, then I feel like, and I'm sensing so much love, I feel like your spirit guides want to reassure you that all will be well. That I know it's easier to say it than, to just take in the advice and apply it, but they are wanting for you to relax. They understand if you feel a little bit anxious or if there's a lot of pressure around this day, but they do want to reassure you that all will be well, and that you are protected, and that you are dearly loved, and that there are so many people around you that genuinely love you and care for you, and you're doing well, you're doing great. I feel like for the other groups, it didn't come through so obviously that they were receiving messages from their spirit guides. Like I didn't mention spirit guides in their reading so often, but for you guys, I keep feeling called to mention your spirit guides or your spirit team or beings of light who are looking after you, protecting you, and guiding you at this moment. So I just feel like it's important to point that out, because you do have beings of light on your side, and they just... This message might not be for everybody, only take it if it applies, if it resonates with you, which is they wish that you weren't so hard on yourself. because you are an amazing person, and they're not just saying this just because. They mean it. They genuinely mean it. You are an amazing person, and they see how hard you work, how committed you are, how perseverant, how tenacious you are. I feel with the Nine of Wands, you are not a giver-upper. You are someone who looks for a way, finds a way, and doesn't give up on your dreams, on your goals, yourself, as well as others. So they hope, and I hope too, because now I'm really invested in this energy, that the compassion and understanding you extend to others, that you extend it to yourself. Because holy moly, the amount of love, I feel so much love, affection, and just sweetness coming from this group. So if this is the energy you emit, if this is the energy you embody and that you extend to others, imagine how amazing would it be for you to receive this yourself coming from you. Like, don't allow yourself to miss out on what you are emitting, because it's beautiful, and it's enriching, and it's empowering, and it's very healing. So extend that to yourself if you can, and if you are, I feel like you yourself, your higher self, wants to thank you for that, because it's a blessing. That's how it's coming through. It's a blessing. And I want to point out also that so far for this group, I haven't hesitated when delivering the messages. And I am someone who often struggles with conveying my thoughts and conveying what is coming through, because sometimes it's delivered to me in like fragments and pieces, and like a puzzle, I have to put the pieces together and then find a way to convey what I'm seeing, sensing, or what is coming through, which takes some time, and it takes a few tries. But for this group so far, the messages have flowed pretty easily and effortlessly. And so it just feels very organic to me, very organic, very natural, very sincere. So you yourself might be a very sincere, genuine individual. I feel like your intentions are genuine. And because of this, you do have people, or you do attract people that are as genuine as you. And you will know who these people are. You will feel it. There will be no doubt about it. You will feel their camaraderie, their solidarity, their sincerity. You're not alone is what is trying to be expressed. But now I'm going to draw out some homemade divination dice. And for this part of the reading, if you are wearing headphones or earphones with the volume way up, I do advise and or recommend for you to either lower down the volume or remove your headphones or earphones, because it might get pretty loud and noisy as I work with the divination dice. So just a heads up. So I will start in 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I will only be interpreting the dice that fell on the board in a section with an illustration facing up, and the rest I will put back into the little drawstring bag. So quite a few fell on the board with an illustration facing up. So for work, we have the fast forward symbol. I believe it is the fast forward symbol. And for money, we have the 2 stick figures holding hands. And we also have the thought bubble. For love, we have the ring, interesting. And for learn, we have the world, or the symbol for the web, internet, as well as the scroll. Okay, so yeah, with fast forward and work, this makes me think that at some point in the next 14 days, there could be a lot happening at work or anything related to work, your profession. So things might be getting pretty busy, or you might find yourself quite busy at some point in the next 14 days. Yet this fast forward symbol is also making me think that at some point in the next 14 days, you might desire or want for time to move a little bit quicker, because either you're craving that alone time, or you are wanting to get out of work, maybe to go somewhere, maybe to spend time alone, or maybe to be with someone, see someone. Yet what is also coming through is that there could be a project that you're anxious to complete, or there could be a deadline that you're anxious to meet, or like I said, there could be a day that you're awaiting, and maybe this day has something to do with like work, maybe with the launching of something, the release of something, and you're like eagerly awaiting this or wanting for the days to pass quicker so that this day will arrive. So there could be excitement around this, or a lot of anticipation. Yet something else that I'm seeing with the fast forward symbol is that things will be advancing at work. And that, again, if you're experiencing any hurdles in the area of life of work, you will be able to get over these hurdles, or this, let's say, time that maybe you're not really fond of, or that you're in a way dreading because it's either slow or a bit difficult, or you're focusing on things that you are not really interested in. It's going to pass, and it's going to pass fairly quickly. There's this feeling of skipping, or this feeling of once it's over, it's forgotten, like it's left in the past. And now we're just focusing on the present and what is to come. So this is just a hurdle, but that you will be able to get over it. And the fast forward symbol is also letting me know progress. So there is progress, there will be forward movement, there will be a way through, there will be a way onwards, okay? Nothing is stopping you, or workflow or anything related to work isn't being detained, or any progress related to work isn't being detained, right? There will still be progress, okay? So for money, we have the stick figures and the thought bubble. So some of you could be deliberating or considering some kind of business partnership. Like I said, I do see you thinking. I'm now envisioning in my mind the thinker. I do see you contemplating. So for some, you could be taking the time to consider whether you either want to enter into a business partnership. And interesting, because I believe what I just said was a message that also came up for the group that got this card. So yeah, if you were also drawn to group 1, then if you feel called to do so, I do advise for you to also tune into that group, because there could be messages that will resonate in that reading for you as well. But I do see you either considering entering into a business partnership, business association, collaborating with somebody, or getting out of a business partnership. Some of you could even be thinking about an investment, like financially investing in something, or withdrawing your money from an investment. It's making me think of like stocks. So some of you could be thinking about that, whether it's time to withdraw your money. Some of you could also be thinking about whether it is okay, that is how it's coming through, whether it's okay or whether it's wise to work with a friend, a family member, or a romantic partner or romantic interest. There's something here about, can I trust someone with my money, or can I trust someone with this investment? Or is it wise? Would it be good for our relationship if we do work together or get money involved in our relationship? I feel like a lot of you could be considering these things in the next 14 days. And I wish I could give you an answer, but I feel like it will very much depend on each one of you. If this is resonating with you, what would be the best or the wisest for your situation will very much depend. Yeah, and so this is why I think that a lot of you are taking the time to consider this, because this feels like pretty important, or it feels important to you, like something that is meant to be contemplated on and not just dealt with or addressed willy-nilly. This also made me think of a joint account. So some of you could be thinking about whether to create a joint account or share your wealth is how it's coming through. Share your wealth with another. Okay. But for learn, we have the web and the scroll. So some of you could be taking an online course, or if you do go to class like in person, sometime in the next 14 days, you could be instead attending class via online. And it could be because you want to make that switch, or it could be because that's the only option, at least for the next 14 days or sometime in the next 14 days. But for others of you, you could definitely be self-learning, self-studying online, researching information, which came through at the beginning. So you could definitely be researching or gathering information online. The word database just came to mind. Or you could be asking for advice of people in the web. I just thought of like the website Reddit, but you could also be entering into other like forums where like people discuss certain things, or they offer information or their personal experiences of something, to get more informed. But I do see some of you getting certified for something. So if you have been taking an online course, sometime in the next 14 days, you could be completing this course, or you could be leveling up, moving on to the next level. Graduating is the word that came to mind, because I do see some of you receiving like a diploma or some kind of proof, like physical proof that you completed something, or that you're knowledgeable about something, or that now you can start exercising some kind of practice. Yeah, and I think that the scroll, I think it also came up for group 1. So again, if you felt called or drawn to group 1, I do recommend for you to also tune into that reading, because there could be messages in there for you as well. The scroll also makes me think of letters. So again, you could be receiving a lot of emails. You could be connecting with quite a few people. In the next 14 days, you could be making business deals via online, via emails. Yeah, but that is what I'm seeing here. Now for the ring and love. Okay, so I can interpret this in many ways, but the most obvious way is sometime in the next 14 days, for those of you who are dating or who are in a romantic relationship with another, you will be moving on to the next level of commitment with your significant other. Some of you may be proposing, or you might be getting proposed to, or you might be throwing an engagement party or announcing to others that you are now in a relationship, or that you are now committed to someone, or that you are maybe thinking about proposing or entering into a long-term romantic committed relationship with another. Some of you could even be searching for a ring, an engagement ring, a wedding ring. Or if you have, I feel like sometime in the next 14 days, you will be finding the ring. But this ring also makes me think of a life partner. So in the next 14 days, especially because we have committed and union here, some of you could be coming to the realization that you've either found the one, or that the person who you are in a romantic relationship is the one for you, or is the one you want to spend the rest of your life with, or is the one that you want to commit to or marry, something along those lines, or be with. What I just heard in my mind is this is the one. And let's see what else is coming through. For others of you, this might not necessarily be about like romantic love, and it might be more so about you committing to something that you love, right? Or feeling this strong sense of loyalty and commitment to things that you are quite invested in, or that you are a part of, or are involved in, like projects, work, research even. Yeah, so I do see you being quite committed, or feeling this strong sense of commitment in the next 14 days. And this might be true for not just for the next 14 days. This might be how you normally feel, this strong sense of commitment to your obligations, responsibilities, and to the things that you love and the people that you love. Yeah, so I just want to acknowledge that, and I acknowledge this, and not downplay it or bypass it, because this is something beautiful, and I don't want it to seem like this is something bad. It isn't. It is something very beautiful. So keep doing you, keep being you, and also remember that it's okay if you focus on yourself as well. It's okay if you also feel a strong sense a commitment to you, yourself, your well-being, and your happiness, okay? Sometimes we do have to make decisions between what is the best for us and our well-being, and what others want, right? And sometimes we do have to choose what is best for us, even if that means disappointing others, right? Because we can't please everybody. And remember, this is your life. If we were to shape our life around or based on other people's needs, then we might end up struggling a bit along the way, because as mentioned, we can't please everybody and everybody's needs will differ. And so that's why it's always recommended to follow your heart and, create a life that you are proud of and that resonates with you and that brings no harm to you and harm to others. And something that just came through. Some of you could be thinking about whether or not to announce your commitment to something or someone. I'm thinking of a very specific scenario, but this might not be the case for everybody, but I am going to give it just as an example. So what came to mind is some of you could be contemplating on whether it's time to publicly announce your relationship, maybe your romantic relationship with another, that you're dating or seeing someone, or that you're in a romantic relationship with someone. And what is coming through is, don't feel forced to announce anything if you and your significant other don't feel like it's time, because you and your significant other can announce this at your time. Okay, so don't feel rushed, don't feel forced to move things along or do things in a way that doesn't feel organic to you and to your partner, or doesn't feel organic and good for your relationship as a whole. Yeah, so if you are in a romantic relationship, I feel like the advice for the next 14 days in terms to your relationship with your significant other is to communicate, openly communicate with your significant other, talk things out, see where you each are and what you each think and how you each feel about how to move forward, or what the next step is, or where to go from here, right? But again, this is just advice. It's a suggestion that came through in case you needed it, or if it is of some help to you. But if it isn't, then just let it be. It most likely was not meant for you, and possibly was meant for somebody else. Okay, but something else that is coming through is in the next 14 days, someone could be revealing their feelings for you, confessing to you, or you could be the one confessing. Though with this union card, I feel like it will be mutual. This could be something like both of you sort of confess at the same time. Or let's say you share what you feel and what you want moving forwards in your relationship with someone, and then this someone, your person, shares with you that they feel the same way that you do. And then both of you realize like, we were always on the same page. Great. We think the same, we feel the same. Okay, we're good. But now I want to pull out some extra oracle cards to get any last messages, advice, and or guidance. Interesting that I said that in plural, because usually I only pull out one card. So let's see how many cards fall out. Oh, okay, so only one card flipped over, and we have good things are happening to you too. Remember this and know there is plenty for everyone. Okay, so something that came through. You could be hearing or receiving an announcement that a friend of yours, maybe a family member, someone that you're quite close to, is getting engaged or is getting married, or they are now in a romantic committed relationship. And if you're still single, again, this might only apply for a select few of you, but if you're still single and if you start thinking to yourself, well, when is it going to be my time? When will I be announcing that I am getting married, or that I am now in a committed, beautiful romantic relationship? Or when will I meet my person? Spirit is letting you know in due time and very, very soon. I know that's not much of a reassurance and that doesn't give much away, but I feel like your spirit team is kind of reassuring you, especially if you are doubting whether you will ever enter into a committed relationship or come into union with a significant other, with your person, Spirit is saying, yes, you will. It will happen to you. It's in the works. Your person is out there and you're getting closer and closer to one another. You see here how there's this illustration of a solar eclipse. I believe it is a solar eclipse. So the sun could be representing you and the moon could be representing your significant other, or it could be the other way around. And this is just here to illustrate how you're coming closer and closer to union, how you are aligning. It is happening. It might not be so obvious to you at the moment, but it is happening. So your spirit guides are asking for you to keep living your life. I feel like your spirit guides are saying you don't have to wait for this. You don't have to put your life on hold for this, because it's going to happen no matter what. So whether you choose to take a break, whether you choose to keep moving forward, keep doing your thing, this union here is going to happen no matter what. So just focus on you, focus on the things that you love, focus on enjoying your life and growing and having experiences and adventuring and so forth. And this will happen when it's time. Because there is a divine, I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but there is a divine timing to this. It's like, it's in the works, it's happening. I don't know how universe works in mysterious ways and energy pulls us in mysterious ways, but you are being drawn closer and closer together. Okay? So love is in the air for you. And interesting how we have one person here standing on the hill, because it does make me think of someone traveling, you know, someone making their way to you, or you making your way to somebody. And I feel like these birds here are symbolizing like divine guidance, like being divinely guided by the universe in mysterious and beautiful ways. So you could be experiencing a lot of synchronicity, seeing a lot of signs that are confirming to you, reassuring to you that this union is in the works, or that you are getting closer and closer to physically coming into union with a significant other. With a counterpart is how it's coming through with the sun and the moon. And you can reach this person now energetically, right? This committed card makes me think of telepathy, because we do have two people touching foreheads. So at any time, right? At any time you can connect with the energy of the one who aligns with you. It's like connecting to your heart space will automatically connect you to the one who is connected to your heart space. It's going to automatically happen. So you know I was speaking a lot about like a romantic partner and romantic love, but this could extend to platonic relationships, familial relationships. Connecting to your heart space will automatically connect you to anybody who is connected to you by the heart space, right? And love doesn't discriminate. It doesn't reserve its affections for only a romantic dynamic. It can exist in romantic relationships as well as platonic, as well as familial. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. Yes, but this is also a reminder to you that good things are coming as well, and that there is plenty more good things to experience and to see. There is plenty more out there. So don't become hyper fixated or hyper focused on one thing. It's okay to be in the present, but it's also good to keep in mind that there is more than what we are just experiencing at the moment. We are part of something bigger, every single one of us, okay? So eclipses could be of significance. If there happens to be an eclipse at some point in the next 14 days, the day, night of the eclipse, or around the time of an eclipse could be of significance. Eclipses make me think of transformations. It also makes me think of a time of realizations or needing to make important decisions, like revelations. Let's see, a clock, a watch, a pocket watch, or a compass could be of significance, as well as a key. They could be important signs. And if it happens to be the 2nd, the 6th, or the 26th, even the 8th of the month in the next 14 days, those specific days could be of significance. These could also be like a window of time. So like the 2nd to the 6th, for example. And in terms of zodiac signs, I'm getting two different combinations. So first is Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. And the second combination is Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Right, so I got these from adding the numbers. So for the first combination, I thought of the arcanas of the deck. So the fourth major arcana is the Emperor, and that card is associated with Aries. Then we have the number 14, so that would be Temperance, which is associated with Sagittarius. And then we have 8 with 26, which is the Strength card, and that will be Leo. Then I thought of the astrology houses. So the 4th house, Cancer, 12th house, Pisces, and then 8th house, Scorpio. Okay. But these are all the messages that are coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance and clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings if you are interested. All the information to that is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides, as well as any being of light that came through in this reading, for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful next 14 days. And until the next moment, bye bye.